Oh my God. Oh my God. It was so good. I can't believe this is keto. All right, confession time. I'm not really a pie person. And if I do eat pie, it's probably gonna be a cream pie because they're tastier, probably because they're loaded in fat. I wanted to share a different kind of pie that you guys can make for the holidays, or if you're just hosting like a potluck or a party. And this keto peanut butter pie is the ticket. It's very easy to make, involves minimal ingredients, and really, in fact, the refrigerator does most of the work for this recipe. So now you can do what matters most to you during the holidays, which is spend time with friends and family. And it's a great way to sneak in a keto dessert that your non-keto friends and family won't even suspect, because this thing does not taste keto at all. It's shocking that it's actually low carb. So let's get focused on cooking. First up, let's get started on the crust. This is my favorite press-in pie crust recipe. It actually is just like a chocolate cookie. So it's a chocolate cookie crust. We're gonna put everything in a food processor. So you're gonna add 1 1/4 cups of almond flour, 3 tablespoons of coconut flour. And to give it that chocolate flavor, I'm gonna be using Cacao Bliss from today's sponsor, which is Earth Echo. Earth Echo makes this delicious blend of raw cacao powder with superfoods in it. So you get superfoods like turmeric, cinnamon, curcuma, there's black pepper, and it provides such an unbelievably unique flavor to this. So you can really up level any of your keto desserts if you're baking with it, which is something that I like to do. I usually use it in place of cocoa powder. I also like to use it in my coffee just as like an afternoon little treat, or you can put it in shakes too if you're trying to do like more of a morning shake for breakfast. It's low in carbs and sweetened with monk fruit. Makes the perfect replacement for cocoa powder in this recipe. I'm gonna be using 1/4 cup of Cacao Bliss in here, but if you wanted to go with just straight cocoa powder, you could make sure you use unsweetened and use 2 tablespoons instead. If you guys are interested in trying Cacao Bliss, I'll have a link down below that you guys can use where you can save 15% off of your order. You're also gonna need 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon of xanthan gum, and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Give this a quick pulse just to make sure we get all those ingredients mixed together, and then we're gonna add in 4 tablespoons of cubed chilled butter and 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Pulse this again until everything is crumbled up and it looks like coarse crumbles. You basically want it to be like a texture of cookie crumbs, and if you were to press them together, they hold its shape. That's when you know it's perfect. Then we're gonna press this into a lightly greased pie plate, and we're gonna bake it in a 350-degree oven for around 9 minutes. While that's baking, we can move on to our peanut butter filling. In a large bowl, we're gonna add 2/3 cup of powdered sweetener. You can use the sweetener of your choice for this recipe. Just make sure it measures cup for cup with sugar. And then 3/4 cups of peanut butter. And when it comes to selecting peanut butter on the keto diet, you really need to look at the nutrition label, because some of them like to add some extra sugar to there just to make their peanut butter taste better. So make sure that you're using one that says 100% peanuts and really nothing else. Maybe a little bit of palm oil if you're okay with palm oils or some salt, but it really does not need to have any excess sugar, dextrose, cane syrup, anything like that. You'll also need 6 ounces of softened cream cheese. We're gonna mix this together with an electric mixer until it is light and fluffy. And then we'll set it aside and let's make some whipped cream. So in another bowl, we're gonna add 3/4 cup of heavy whipping cream and just beat that with an electric mixer until stiff peaks form. Now we're gonna combine the two. So take half of your whipped cream mixture and put it into your peanut butter mixture and gently fold it in. This is just gonna make sure everything kind of just becomes like uniform. It makes it easy to fold, because when we add that second half of our whipped cream, we really want it to be fluffy and be able to just really mix it up gently. So we'll fold that other half after the first one is done and continue folding gently until all of the white whipped topping is gone. And look at how creamy and smooth this is. This looks so good. Now we're gonna add this peanut butter filling into our pie crust. The pie crust is done at this point and I've let it cool, so it's completely cooled. You don't want it to be warm because then it might melt your peanut butter mixture layer and the consistency might be a little bit off. So make sure your pie crust is cooled before you add in your peanut butter topping. Next, let's add a layer of whipped cream. Now this is completely optional. You don't have to do this final whipped topping if you don't want to. I like it. I think it just adds something else to the dish, but if you're trying to limit the amount of carbs in your dish or the amount of calories, then you can completely omit this step. But in a medium bowl, I'm gonna add in 1 cup of heavy cream. I'm gonna mix that with an electric mixer until it starts to thicken, and then I'm gonna add in 2 tablespoons of powdered sugar-free sweetener. Again, just choose whichever sweetener you wanna use as long as it measures cup for cup, along with 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Mix that together until stiff peaks form, and then we're gonna add our whipped cream topping to the top of our peanut butter filling. And now here's where the refrigerator does all the work. You're gonna pop it in and let it set for 2 hours. This is a great recipe to make ahead, especially if you are hosting something for the holidays and you already have a bunch of things to make on the day of. You could actually make this a few days ahead of time. When your pie's done, it looks divine. Actually, it doesn't look that great because it's just a layer of whipped topping on it. So what I wanna do is drizzle some chocolate and add some crushed peanuts on top so that people know that it's a peanut butter pie. And now we dig in. So good. It was so good. I cannot believe that this thing is low carb. It tastes like the real deal. It does not taste keto at all. I could totally eat this whole pie. You guys should definitely make this for the holidays and see who you could fool into thinking that this is loaded with sugar. If you guys want some more holiday pie recipes, make sure you click right here for this playlist.